Greetings, I'm Jason and welcome to my comic book reviews. First I'd like to apologise for the lighting. There's work going on in the house, so we've got all scaffolding up and it just blocks out all the lighting, so it's made it really dark. Also, you may notice the ceiling looks a bit different. We were told, because I've lived in this house all my life, and a lot of the decorating for the ceiling was done in the 70s, and we were told that when they came around to have a look that the tiles we got on the ceiling were flammable, and were high risk. So we're in the process of redecorating. So if you're thinking my roof's looking a bit manky today, or my ceiling rather, that's the reason why. Now, getting into the comics, I've got 16 books to review today. 3 books that are books that came out either last week or before, and the rest are all kind of 13 books for this week. I'm going to try and do this in 20 minutes if I can, or get as close to 20 minutes. That's my target every week. I will do that, but I will still say all the things I want to say about each book. So that is going to be a bit of a mission. So without further ado, let's get into these reviews, and we start off first with the books that came out earlier, and we start off with Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor Adventures, issue number 1. I'm a massive Doctor Who fan. It's without a doubt my favourite TV show, but I've never been able to get into the comics. I've never enjoyed the comics. They have a regular comic in the magazine every month, and it's the one part of the magazine I never read because I just can't get into it. So when this first came out, I was in two minds. On the one hand, it's Doctor Who. On the other hand, I was kind of I've never been able to get into Doctor Who comics. And it's strange because I love the books, I read the novels, and I love them. I love the TV show, but it's just the comics, for some reason, I've never been able to enjoy. So anyway, this week, my defences broke down. I picked it up, and I really enjoyed it. The bulk of this story introduces our new companion, who's unique to this comic book series. Her name is Gabriella, and she belongs to this Mexican family that live in New York, and they have a family business. They have a restaurant and they have a laundrette, and her father, she has to work in both. She can't go to college like she wants to. She has to go to night school, do an accounting course that her dad wants her to do, and she has all these obligations for family, and it's she has to put herself second, and that really annoys her because she has things that she wants to do, because she's a very intelligent person, also very creative. And so the bulk of the story is centered around her and introducing her, and then we have these strange goings on happening, because it's building up to the Day of the Dead, and we have these strange happenings that start happening, which see our Doctor pop up, and he's almost like cameos, but it pops up until we get to the end, where we get the meeting of the Doctor and Gabrielle for the first time. Like I say, I really love the book. I think what they've done with the companion is brilliant. It is bordering on genius, because so much we see in TV shows and in film about cultures Mexican families, and we have cultures like the Indians, Pakistanis, Greeks, Italians, where it's they're very family orientated, and often the kids will just work in the family business, whatever that family business is. And so instantly you've got a companion who you can identify with, because you've seen this so much in real life and in fiction. So instantly it's a companion you can take to, and you feel for her plight, because she wants to get away from this drudgery. So you instantly feel for her. So I liked that. I thought the writing of the Doctor was spot on, and the verbiage was just perfect. And the story built nicely, as well as introducing the companion. It builds nicely to all these goings on. The art as well, I thought, was good. I like the art. It's nothing outstanding, but I like the balance they get with the Doctor. I'm trying to see if I can find a picture of the Doctor, because I think they make it so he looks enough like the Doctor. As you can see him there getting served, he's enough like the Doctor that you can recognise him, but sometimes they're trying to go too detailed, and it breaks down. And I thought it was the nice medium, getting him how he looks, but not too much, you know. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. This was a real surprise. I really enjoyed this, and would definitely be picking up the next issue. And if Doctor Who 10th Doctor Adventures, issue number 1, 5 stars out of 5. So next up we go to Doctor Who, the 11th Doctor Adventures, issue number 1. I bought these both at the same time. I was kind of thinking maybe I'll just pick up one, but they were both really good. Again, the format for this is very much, this is to introduce the new companion. So this time we meet Alice, who's based in London, and she's cared for her mother, and her mother's now passed away. And her mother was pretty much her whole life, and her life has begun to fall in down. She's lost her job. The flat where she's living, the landlord is selling because he's got this big money off her. She finds a friend, but her friend's moving away, so she can't. So like, just everything is falling down, and she's just walking randomly along the street when this multicolored giant dog comes bounding around with this madman following it and saying, "Come on!" And she gets wrapped up in the Doctor's adventure, and we get a nice moment where the Doctor visits her at home just because she seems sad, and so he pops in and visits her, and that just kicks off this whole fantastic adventure with them trying to get this dog and stop this dog from doing any more damage. It's a kind of one and done story. There's a little thing that goes on that looks like that's going to build into a bigger story, but it's very much, this story is just to introduce the companion and why the Doctor takes to this companion. The character of Alice I instantly took to. She's a carer for her mother, and you know, I care for my mum in a fashion, me and my wife. We don't have to bathe her or anything, but you know, we do shopping for her and carry things upstairs and everything, take her to hospital appointments and stuff. So it was a character that I instantly took to because I could relate to that character, and I think grounding it again, like with the pre-other Doctor Who book, the companion, their circumstances are very much grounded in reality, and they become instantly characters you can relate to from that reality, and I really liked that from both books. I also really like the portrayal of the Doctor here. The art, I don't know, I wasn't quite keen on how they drew the Doctor, but certainly how they write him is very, very good. Here's the scene with the dog come bounding down the street. Looks like one of them dogs you get in those Chinese, or is it a dragon they have in those Chinese parades? But yeah, you look at the Doctor, I feel, yeah, they've got the structure right, but I don't know. I don't know if I quite like how they've drawn the Doctor there. But yeah, the whole story was really, really good. Again, it really grabbed me. Loved how they did the companion based in reality, and yeah, I really enjoyed this. It's very much a one and done story, and I really like. There's a lot of beats to the story that I really like, but there's an overarching thing as well that I'm really enjoyed, and I'm definitely going to be picking up the next issue of this one as well. And I give Doctor Who 11th Doctor Adventures, issue number 1, 5 stars out of 5. So now jumping to a book from last week, and we have Lazarus, issue number 10. This is a kind of like a one-shot story, though it does build into where we're going next with it. Of course, we have Jonah Carlyle, who we've not seen for a while because he's been on the run. He goes to this other family, the Hawk family, thinking that he can sell secrets and his knowledge of the Carlyles, and that will buy him a comfortable life. The problem is that Jonah's lived this privileged life, this life blocked away from the real world. And when he gets out into the real world, he finds that he's not considered as important as he sees himself as, and that basically his knowledge isn't worth as much as he himself is. I really like the story. I really enjoyed it. It's grim and gritty, just like Lazarus is, but at the same time, you know, it's a really interesting look into this character who, you know, he's lived this privileged life. He has this totally distorted view of the world from where he's lived it, and now he's having to see the other side, and I really like that. It's interesting where they're going to take this whole story. and they set things up for the ongoing story really nicely, and set up. We're seeing more of this world all the time, and the more I see of it, the more I'm fascinated by it. And once again, the art is just exceptional, and I just really love this book. Thought it was a really great book, really enjoying it, and I'd give Lazarus issue number 10 5 stars out of 5. Don't look like I'm going to do that 20 minutes. It's nearly 10 minutes and I'm not even halfway yet. So let's get cooking along. Next up we have Star Wars. This is the first of this week's books, issue number 20 from Dark Horse Comics. This is the second part of the story that started last issue. And I enjoyed seeing IG-88 again. I thought that was really cool, and I liked how they defeated him. I liked the banter between Han and Leia. It felt very authentic as of the Star Wars films, though I don't quite understand why in the previous story to this he's all lovey-dovey and now he's kind of seems to have regressed. I don't get. Or maybe it's the whole thing because she was going to marry someone, I don't know. The only thing I think that let this story down was like while when they get Salem back and we get the information, you can see it's going to lead to Hoth. So I liked that beat and what she had. It still just seemed, I don't know, the story seemed for me to be lacking something that made it outstanding. And after the last issue we kind of built up to it, it didn't seem we got any kind of payoff. So yeah, but other than that I thought it was good, enjoyed the art as well, and I'd give issue number 20 of Star Wars 4 stars out of 5. So jumping on to Marvel Comics now, we have All New X-Men, issue number 30, wow. Where does the time go? I can remember picking up the first issue of this and it's like, where's that time gone? Now on issue 30. With the way they come out, it's probably, you know, it could have started like a year and a half ago, and it could have gone. Anyway, this issue I really enjoyed. There's not a whole load of action, but it's more character stuff, which I really love anyway. The stuff with Angel and X-23 I really enjoyed. It wasn't a pairing I thought I'd like, because I'm not the biggest Angel fan, but I really enjoyed their scenes together, and X-23 is definitely becoming one of my favourite X-Men. I really like her character. We get to see Kitty Pryde talking to Star-Lord over a hologram, which is cool, and it answers the question. Like there was in Star-Lord issue number 1 of Legendary Star-Lord, I complained who's the woman that he was talking to, and it's Kitty Pryde, and I feel such a dunce now, like, duh! I should, you know, you know, I remember reading the crossover story, and I should have, so yeah, I had a stupid moment, but hey, we all have them occasionally. Just I might seem to have more than most. So yeah, I like that answered something, and I like that scene. But for me, the big thing of the issue was the showdown between Jean Grey and Emma Frost, and the way that goes at the end is really quite surprising, and I really like that whole thing. Also, the end of this kind of builds straight into where we're at with Uncanny X-Men, and I liked that we got to see the other side of, like, you know, we saw them come in to the base, but we get to see the other side now, and that scene gets expanded, which I really like as well. And it's one of the advantages of having somebody write like 2 X-Men books, is that they can occasionally, when they cross over to each other, they can kind of lay that in. But yeah, I'm really enjoying All New X-Men, and this was a really good strong issue, and I give issue number 30 5 stars out of 5. Next up we have Spider-Man 2099 issue number 2. I thought this was another great issue. We have a bit of action at the beginning, but then the rest of the issue, if you include the hologram on Hologram Watch, we get 4 characters for the rest of the book after the first initial like action scene. But it works really well. There's a real emotional beat at the end, which I thought was built up to lovely. I love the confrontation between Liz and between Miguel, and you know, he has to really think on his feet and really act quick to kind of explain away, you know, who he is. This was just a real joy. I really enjoyed this. Just showed off the writing talent to Peter David. I thought the art was really good, particularly at the beginning with the bank robbery scene. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying this book. Peter David's just a great writer, and things just keep building and building, and you can see already he's building a really great story here. I'm looking forward to see where this is going to go. I really enjoyed this issue, and I give Spider-Man 2099 issue number 2 5 stars out of 5. So next up, sticking with Spider-Man, we have Amazing Spider-Man issue number 5, Original Sin. I don't know why it's got the Original Sin logo on it. Okay, we've still got Silk in it and we've still got that going on, but it's not really dealing that much with the whole secret. So to me, it does seem like Marvel are milking this whole Original Sin thing a bit too much, because there's been a few issues now where they've put Original Sin on the cover and it isn't really an Original Sin issue. But anywho, we get to see more Black Cat's plan this issue, which I really like. While I'm not really totally feeling an evil Black Cat, I do at least like where she's going at the last couple of issues. And I can go with this story because we know eventually we're going to get our Black Cat back. I like the whole thing with Electro when he learns that Parker's trying to find a cure, and that's an interesting beat that we might come back to later on. So I liked that. I also really liked what's going on with Spider-Man and Silk, and that they don't fully understand it yet, and that's really interesting. And the last page of this had me like, whoa, I can't wait for the next issue. They've really stepped it up and really doing a bang up job with this book now. I feel since issue 4 it's really coming back into its own. So yeah, I'd give Amazing Spider-Man issue number 5 5 stars out of 5. Next up we have Hulk issue number 5. Boy, I have mixed feelings about this book. On the one hand we have the new writer this issue, Jerry Duggan, and I like the new direction of the Hulk. I like the whole thing with him now being Dr. Green, and that he's permanently the Hulk, and his intellect now matches his strength, and he's on this mission to wipe out all gamma radiated weapons or people, and he's going to cure them and stuff, whether they want to be cured or not. And certainly his motives are pure, if not his tactics. My main gripe with the book was that while I like having that direction and having that focus, and I like where they're going with that, I think that's an interesting direction to take it. My main gripe is, one of the things I really enjoyed about the Avengers movie was seeing Hulk be portrayed as a hero. That if you aim him at something bad, that he could be a hero. And I thought we were going that way with Indestructible Hulk, of him being the hero now. And I just feel, for me personally, I haven't got enough of the Hulk being a hero, of people looking at him not as a monster to be scared of, but as somebody who can help them and save them. And I was hoping we'd maybe go in that direction. Where we're going now, morally Hulk is a bit ambiguous at best, so I wasn't totally pleased with that. Also, I don't really know where this fits in. Yes, we had the last issue of Hulk about 2 months ago, and then we had the mini-series, and the mini-series picked up where the Hulk book finished off, and I thought this was going to pick up where the mini-series ended up. But in the mini-series it was clear that Hulk could transform from Banner to Hulk, and he had that hyper-intelligence as the Hulk. So I feel like I've missed something here, because now all of a sudden he's just Hulk permanently, and he doesn't want to be called the Hulk anymore, he wants to be Doc Green. So I feel like I've missed something, and yet we may come back to that, and we may get that later on. But like, that's the second time in this series that I feel I've missed something. And you're just beginning to get a bit fed up of constantly feeling like I'm missing parts of the story when I'm picking up every issue. So there was that. The art I really liked though, and I thought some of Bagley's layouts were really good. I'm not 100% keen on the Mohawk Hulk, but that's just something that I'm bound to get used to. It's just an initial thing. But overall, I enjoyed the issue, and it was an easy to follow story, and there's some interesting directions they're taking it. But I was just wasn't totally feeling everything they're doing, and I'd give issue number 5 of Hulk 3 stars out of 5. Next up we have Captain Marvel issue number 6, which concludes the first arc of this new volume. This issue, Carol has to kind of fight off the Spartak fleet. I really loved the story here. I love how Carol Danvers is written. Kelly Sue DeConnick does a fantastic job with Captain Marvel. I also like the whole political situation. I thought that was really good, and I like how the resolution of the story was handled. There is a bit of a feel Guardians of the Galaxy kind of feel to this book, in particularly when it comes to music, but I really like these characters, and I feel a bit sad that this story is over already, because I've really took to a lot of these different characters we've been introduced to, and I hope we do return to this planet at some point in the future. But yeah, this was a satisfactory conclusion, and I'm really enjoying the book. The art as well, I really liked, from David Lopez, and all in all, I'd give Captain Marvel issue number 6 5 stars out of 5. Next up we have Batman issue number 34. This is also written by Jerry Duggan, from a story idea by him and Scott Snyder, with art by Matteo Scalera, who I didn't realise was on the book. He does the cover as well, which I just absolutely adore, that cover. This story I thought was really good. I liked it. It's kind of a one and done story. I like how Batman deals with this guy, but I kind of had a problem with, would Batman be allowed to do that? Because surely this guy has to go to court and has to go on trial before he could be thrown in Arkham Asylum. So surely there has to be some kind of system here. Batman can't just decide people's fate. So that was the only kind of gripe I had with the book. Other than that, I really liked it. I really liked the story. The art was just perfect. I liked the idea of the serial killer. I thought that was really cool and really clever. But like I did like what Batman done to him in the end, and how he and what the guy's punishment was. But I did have a problem with, well, wouldn't the guy have to be arrested and go on trial before Batman could put him in Arkham? Yeah. But anywho, I enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind seeing more from both Duggan and Scalera on Batman, and I give Batman issue number 34 4 stars out of 5. Next up we have Amazing X-Men issue number 10. I'm really loving this Wendigo story. It has been really good. Wolverine has now turned into a Wendigo, and the X-Men are trying to fight the Wendigos off, while at the same time trying to find a way to help everybody and turn them back human. I really like this. We get Alpha Flight in this issue. Anytime I see Alpha Flight, it's the same as anytime I see Machine Man. I'm a happy camper. So I was really happy with this issue. I really like this X-Men team that they put together in this book. I think it's a really cool team, and like I said, I just really enjoyed the heck out of this story, and I'm really interested in how they're going to resolve all of this. But I think certainly Yost and Kyle have done a really great job with their first story, and I give issue number 10 of Amazing X-Men 5 stars out of 5. So next up we have issue number 8 of Fantastic Four, which is again an Original Sin tie-in, which I don't know how much it ties into Original Sin, because it seems like the whole kind of secret that Ben learned has kind of been forgotten about, because he's got bigger problems right now. That the fact that he's been arrested for murder is a bigger problem than the secret he learned. So I didn't think of this as an Original Sin tie-in. It's interesting seeing what's happening to them. Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman, their life seems to be getting a bit better, so that's good for them. But for Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm, things look like they're going from bad to worse. And I've really been enjoying this book. Initially I didn't want to buy the book, because it said that it was going to be the destruction of the Fantastic Four. So I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see characters I love be put through the ringer, kind of maliciously. But the way that Robertson is writing it, I'm really liking, and it's been enjoyable. You get the impression that there's something bigger going on here, that it's not self-made destruction, it's somebody outside who's trying to bring them down. And so I'm really enjoying that, and I'm really intrigued to find out who it is, who's behind it all. But yeah, this book's really going in different territory right now, and I'm really enjoying it, and give Fantastic Four issue number 8 5 stars out of 5. We then have Captain America issue number 23. This is my pick of the week. I really enjoyed this. There's a lot of stuff in here that really pays off. If you've stuck with this book since issue 1 and you was there all through Dimension Z, it really pays off for you this issue, as we get some really cool twists to the current tale. We get to see Jet Black and Falcon have got a plan to maybe defeat Zola, while meanwhile some assassin, this guy on the cover, is trying to take out Steve Rogers. And yeah, it's really good, really good issue. I don't know if I hadn't been reading Cap from the beginning, if I would have the same reaction to it if I just picked it up. And maybe, you know, some of that because I I've been reading it all along, kind of, and you feel you're getting that payoff for stuff that was kind of hinted at way back when. Maybe that affects the way I see this book. But yeah, like I say, I'm just really enjoying it. I've heard some people complain about Carlos Pachenko's art, but personally, I really enjoyed his art. I really liked it, and also the colours here. I'm not sure who does the colours, if it's still Dean White. But yeah, I really liked the art in this. But I did hear online some people were kind of, you know, Carlo Pachenko's art brings it down. But no, I really like the art. But yeah, it was a good, like I say, my pick of the week. Really enjoyed this. Captain Mega, issue number 23, my pick of the week. So we've got 3 books to go, so we'll whiz through these now. We got Original Sin, issue number 7. This was a funny one. While on the one hand, we do get a categorically revealed the murderer of the Watcher. And while on the one hand, it's good that we've got that now stated, it is a bit of a letdown because it's the guy who was the suspect from the very second issue. So right from the beginning, it's that guy that was the suspect from way back when. But it's kind of like you was thinking there's going to be some kind of twist to the tale, and we haven't quite got that yet. I don't know if that's coming in the next issue, but we haven't got that yet, so that was disappointing. I like the stuff with Fury. That was really cool. What did he whisper to Thor that made him no longer worthy of Mjolnir? I'm really interested to find out that. Also, we've got Iron Man and the way he beat Iron Man. That was really cool. So I really like that. I'm still not really figuring yet how Dr. Minus and Exterminatrix and Orb are going to fit into everything. You figure that there's some bigger picture here. That there's still answers to come. I enjoyed this overall, even if I was a bit disappointed with the reveal of the killer. And there's a lot of questions to be answered for the final issue. But all in all, I'd give issue number 7 of Original Sin 4 stars out of 5. So, next up, our penultimate book this week. It is the New 52 Futures End, issue number 15. And this was just another really strong issue. This series overall I've really been enjoying, and considering it's a series I originally wasn't going to pick up, that just, you know, it just amazed me how much I've enjoyed this. I think on a per issue basis, there's been more issues of Futures End, that I've enjoyed than I've enjoyed of Batman Eternal. There's been a few issues of Batman Eternal that I've just not felt. Where with Futures End, I think it's very in the minority, the bad issues. This issue, again, we get Frankenstein, which I always love the issues where we get Frankenstein. We get to see some of the Earth 2 prisoners, and we get to hear from them, so that's really cool that they're coming into it a bit more. We get to Superman again, and has a lovely scene between him and Lois. That was also really cool. And we get to see that this Superman is a bit different, and you know that the war with Earth 2 has affected a lot of people in a lot of ways. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I still don't know how a lot of these stories are going to join together, but I'm just really enjoying the ride right now, and I give Futures End issue number 15 5 stars out of 5. So finally this week, the final review, it is Batman Eternal issue number 19. And this was another really good issue. I love that cover with Batgirl and Red Hood on there. And the story inside is also really great. We get a little bit more of Batman and Killer Croc and Lieutenant Bard, which I really like that team up, and it continues being good in here as they look to get more answers. So that's really cool, and engages them by the end of the issue with a new villain, a villain who at least I've never heard of. I love the stuff in Brazil with Batwoman, Batgirl, and Red Hood. I thought that was really cool, and we get an answer to what happened to Gordon. How come he saw a gun when he wasn't there? We get the answer to that at last, which is really cool as well. We then get to see Gordon kick Major ass as a big riot breaks out in Blackgate Prison, and I really loved all of that stuff. That was really cool. And in Japan, we get to see Red Robin, agreed to take Harper Row on as his apprentice, which is also really cool. So there's a lot of really cool, good stuff in here that I enjoyed. Art-wise, and this is the thing with the book, is it's like we get different artist from issue to issue. So it's a lot of times it's like, well, you might have an artist one issue that you like, and then next issue, oh no, I thought the art was good. It wasn't awesome, but it wasn't bad. Yeah, I like the art. But all in all, I thought this was another strong issue of Batman Eternal, and I give issue number 19 5 stars out of 5. So those are my reviews for this week. Sorry about the length. We did not do 20 minutes, unfortunately. I whittled on and we went to just under half an hour. So sorry about that. Better luck next week. It should be a smaller haul next week. Like we had that massive haul last week. They're getting smaller week by week. So hopefully next week, I at the moment it's looking like I'll just have 10 books. Though I'm tempted to maybe pick up Multiversity. I think that comes out next week. But I'm in two minds whether to get that, because it's $4.99, and I don't know if it's a monthly book. I don't know if I can be picking, and that is it going to be $4.99 every month, or is that just for the first issue, or is it only going to come out every so often? I don't know enough about it yet. I'll have to look it up and see what I decide. But if I don't get that, it'll be 10 books, so that should be a much shorter review video next week. I hope you all have enjoyed your books this week, and I look forward to seeing everybody's review videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, please give it those beautiful thumbs up. Let me know you like what I'm doing. Anywho, that leaves me time to say goodbye. Well, not goodbye, but bye for now. I've been Jason. This has been my comic book review video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.